I am not a very athletic person. I would say that my favorite sport actually is walking around populated places and people watching. Are you a people watcher? Any people watchers here? Yeah. It's a fantastic pastime. It's totally free. You can do it anywhere without any special equipment. So I was in New York City recently, actually heading back to Boston and waiting at Penn Station for my train. Now, if you've ever been in the Amtrak terminal at Penn Station, you know that it is a prime people watching site. It's packed, and especially around the holidays. But I noticed this time something that I have been noticing a lot lately. No one just stands around waiting anymore. They all have their faces down on their phones. Now you can watch them, but it's not as much fun because nobody catches anybody's eye anymore and starts that random conversation, and really not even exchanging smiles very much anymore. No one else seems to know that anyone else is there. So I was standing around all the people with their faces in their phones when I noticed this man. Let's take a look. This man, tall and bearded and wearing, as you can see, a jaunty red beret. He has a red rolly suitcase and a tote bag with red trim. And I thought to myself, well, he looks like quite the jolly old elf. And I said kind of quietly, but out loud, because sometimes I do that by accident, I go, hey, Santa. And the man who was over there, just like this far apart, looks up and he says, yes? And I was like, how did he hear me? But I knew right away it was Santa, so I said, Santa. And I dragged my bag all the way up to him and I said, I'm so glad to see you. We really need you, especially much this year. What are you doing? Where are you going? You must be so busy. Well, Santa was on his way to Philadelphia, he told me, to train some elves. And we had the most wonderful chat. I said, you know, Christmas is a really busy time of year for me too. I was like 6 years old at this point, you can tell. And he said, we have so much in common. He was very happy to talk with me, and he was very happy. I asked him if we could take some selfies, and he said, sure, but he calls them elfies, he wants you to know. So here we are. And here's another one. Me and Santa. He is a wonderful, wonderful elf. So I don't know if you noticed back at that first image, but you may have noticed, if you have really sharp eyes, that on his tote bag, he has a monogram. S.C. Santa Claus. And if you watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, that was him at the end, waving from the sleigh. He looked so great in his special suit, but you know, he didn't need it to have it on that day for me to know exactly who he was. I needed to catch my train back to Boston, so I wished Santa a very Merry Christmas and good luck, and he said, same to you and all of your community. And I asked him, please give my best to the misses and the elves, and he said, I certainly will. And I ran for my train, and I thought about how if I had been looking at my phone like everyone else was doing, I would have missed meeting Santa Claus. The carol we just sang tells the story of the shepherds who were watching their flocks in the fields and the pastures when they looked up and saw a great light. That phrase has been sticking with me a lot lately. We all want to orient ourselves in the right direction in our lives. I know you want to. I want to. We want to keep before us, as Howard Thurman said, keep before us the moments of our high resolve. Because when we lose that, it hurts us and it hurts others. So I want to encourage all of you to look up more often. In fact, all the time. Look up to the heavens and be in awe of our creation. We cannot properly love what we do not notice. And it takes effort to notice the things that are worthy, because so many trivial and much less worthy things beg our attention and distract us all the time. Look up and see the heavens and your place in the cosmos. You are a unique witness to this sacred story that we are living together right now, and you shall never come again. So don't miss this magical tour. Look up too at those around you. Let's try to do that more often, please. I beg you, because I want to meet you. I want your children to grow up feeling confident talking to people like me, weirdos who would love to exchange a word of greeting with them. Now, I'm not gonna say that you're gonna meet Santa Claus like I got to. That's not gonna necessarily happen for all of us. That doesn't happen every day. But you know, I think about what Mother Teresa used to say, which is that every person she met was Christ to her. And it occurs to me that we are all missing the holy presence in each of us when we do not look up from our interior concerns or our apps and see the Jesus in front of us, someone who has a star shining within themselves that perhaps your attention will cause to blaze and burn more brightly through the dimness of life's challenges and sorrows. This Christmas, I urge you to remember who you really are and what journey you were meant to take. You know what star you feel called to follow. You know where you want to put the gifts of your life, what is worth worshiping on bended knee. If you don't know, let me invite you to become a part of this spiritual community that exists to keep reaffirming that in all of us. And we travel together. We follow a star called love. We follow a star called love. The love guides us to treasure all people as children of God. That love guides us to offer hospitality and sanctuary to the weary traveler, to the stranger. It guides us to study worthy things that lead to wisdom. It guides us to share our wealth, to care for the poor and for the poor in spirit, to resist the divisive rhetoric of power, mad emperors and kings. They looked up and saw a star. Please do. Follow the star of love that is beyond you and within you, and become part of the light of the world. Shine on.